Alright, so it's Friday, November 28th, Black Friday. It's about 4:24 in the afternoon. So, my name is Corey Johnson. About 7.5 years ago, I founded a company called Johnson Irrigation. Always just kind of been me and my wife. Just left a national corporation come do it. What you see behind me is a mid-1970s Davy air compressor, former Air Force spec. It's a 125 rotary sliding vanes, a 203 cubic inch International Harvester 4-cylinder gas engine. You know, I never really got in front of the camera, but you know, some things have changed. It's something that's been put on my heart. I've been writing a third book, which is called You're a Sprinkler Guy, and it's kind of the origin story of how we got here. Over the years, I've taken up more and more technical projects. You know, when I was 18, 19, I used to volunteer on a World War II tugboat here in Tacoma. Used to work, we were a diesel electric 143-foot ship called the Comanche. Had an associate's degree in facilities maintenance engineering. But this summer, my life kind of changed. Back in January, I went out to do some PSN training with Watertronics, and I sat down next to a guy at dinner the first night, 170 people, 5 restaurants. Walked into the Outback Steakhouse, started talking to the guy across the table from me, mentioned Clover Park School District, and the guy on my left goes, "Yeah, I used to do that." And I'm just kind of like, "Who the hell are you?" And so we exchanged cards, and I saw my rep, Drew, and I said, "Hey," he said, "Yeah, met Will." I said, "Hey, I'm like, what's the big deal?" And he said, "It's probably a good thing." All right, whatever. So fast forward is early March, and I inherited a couple other pump stations this last year, and so I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, Drew wants to stay in touch with you. If you need anything, let me know." And a couple weeks later, he called me. He said, "How busy are you?" I said, "Well, relative to what I want to be doing. At this point in my life, I spend about 4 months a year working 7 days a week. I'm just not in a situation where I really want to hire anybody. It's kind of a sad fact of the nation. This isn't political. It's just, it's really hard to find people that want to work when the gas station will pay them 18 to 20 bucks an hour. I've always been a specialist. I've always specialized, obviously doing landscape irrigation, obviously, we said stick building pumps, but anyway, so I had this opportunity. This gentleman wanted to retire, and I inherited a bunch of golf course pump stations, pretty much Western Washington, to be exact. And it's life changing for my wife and I. When I started, my passion is old trucks and equipment. You watch like Matt from Diesel Creek. That's kind of the insanity of my life. I own a bunch of vehicles, got some old stuff that I love dearly. It puts a bright spot in my eyes and smile on my face. But sometimes when you want to chase your dreams, former Iowa McRaven said that if you want to do something well, perhaps you can. If you want to be good at something, perhaps you can balance work and life. If you want to be great at something, something's gonna have to give. And I've owned my house for 10 years, so a couple years into this, I'd worked my way being working in the office for the national corporation for Monarch. I just had this feeling when I go to work sometimes. I was an operative writer in landscape construction. Most of the time I worked in the office, but I had this feeling that there's more to me that's being expressed there, and it was time for me to go. That's what and some other things happened I won't go into now. This was 2018. I was just getting married. Truth of the matter is, I started my company on paper, with the LLC, got married and quit my job in a month, and 3 months later my wife quit her job to come help me. We've never looked back. But back 2017, when I bought my dream truck's a 1959 Ford C600, former Coke truck, came off Vashon Island, total bucket. It's a mess. In fact, I look over to my right, I see the front end of it. But I knew that if I wanted to go out there and achieve my dreams, that I was going to have to put them on the back burner. So in the long term, that I could have the possibility of doing more than if I had just pursued my dreams and just, wages will make you a living, fortune or profits will make you a fortune. And so that's what happened. So, 7 years in, I go to dinner, I sit down next to a gentleman, I don't know him, turns out he knew my stepfather from 25 years ago, and I've got this opportunity in front of me. And to give you an idea, this opportunity does about 7 times, it does about 7 times the amount of revenue per year that I do in 1 year, and we're not working as hard. So, my message today, and this has been put on my heart for a while, and I don't know who all my followers are. I have under 1,000, right? I got more customers than I do followers, but, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with my company. I might sell it, but part of this has been put on my heart that, one, I think there's somebody out there that needs this message, and that's not corny, that's not a sales tactic, it's just that I feel like there's somebody out there that needs to hear this message that, just stick with it. I can't tell you how long it's going to take. It took me 7.5 years or 7 years to get to where I felt like the battle was won, from starting business from the ground up, from feeling like I was the underdog to having cops called on me for not being able to pay for registration, on vehicles to, I've been through the ringer, made all the mistakes, and my parents didn't own businesses, but you can truly do something. Put your heart into it. Don't sell out. My biggest thing, don't sell out. I never sold out. I went out there, did more service than I got paid for. Here I am today. So that's my message for you today. Stick with it. Network, go to the trade shows, do your best, talk to people, make everybody's dealing with you the bright spot of their days, and they'll want to see more of you. You don't have to have new fancy vans. You don't have to have fancy anything. It's who you are. That was the other thing, right? It's not about the job you're doing or where you're going to work today. It's about who you're becoming as a result. I've worked with household names. I've worked with school districts, cities. I've worked for other contractors. That really just redefines your competition, doesn't it? When you think that's your competition, pretty soon they're calling you for help. Yeah. We're all in this together. So wherever, like I said, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stick with it. So, anyway, and the watch is new, right? So, like I said, I've had this Ace Pro for or into the 360 for a year. I don't really mess with it, and I just decided for some reason that this helps me. Excuse my text message. This really helps me. Alright, well, I'm gonna go throw a ham on the smoker, and maybe we'll do a little bit more of this. We'll see what happens, alright?